So the basis of the strength of Indian women is their sense of chastity. The sense of chastity in the Indian women is so great that nothing can deter them as long as they are chaste. But if they are not chaste, then fear settles in them very fast. Chastity is the strength of women. And that's why those women who have fear mostly have a problem of their chastity being challenged. A woman who is frightened that her chastity may be disturbed also can develop a problem with the heart chakra. Such women can develop breast cancers, breathing troubles, and other kind of frightening diseases on the emotional level also. This chakra is ruined in women when they lose their only child, because their motherhood is finished, they feel. And that is the worst thing that can happen to a woman, if she is a woman. But if she is not a woman, she doesn't feel much, and she just behaves in a very manly way. And that's what I've seen in the West, that women really don't much care when their children die. But it is because they are not women. If you are a woman, you definitely feel for your children and their death. But after some time, such a woman comes back again, and she accepts the life as it is for the sake of her husband, or maybe if she has more relations or other children. She becomes extremely powerful as a reaction to what has happened. That's only possible if your center of heart is all right. Such women do not grudge, do not complain, are extremely serene and can bear up lots of things. They are extremely tolerant and can go to any extent to help their children. But they are never spoiling their children. They never spoil their children because they understand spoiling is much worse than beating the child. They never spoil the children nor ever pamper them and never get dominated by their children. They know I have to guide the child and I have to look after the child. So they look after all the ideals and righteousness and the virtues of the child. And if he tries to get out of it, they go all out to win him over, back to virtue and to better life. But those people, those women who do not care for actual growth of the child may just avoid it and escape. In the men, this chakra is caught up if they have lost their mother very early, or if their mother by chance is a very cruel woman. Also this chakra can be caught up by men if they have been to wars and if they have seen frightful things in the war. Such people could be extremely emotional and could be easily be fooled by people who try to win over their emotions. This heart center is caught up by various emotional problems in human beings. Husband and wife, if they all the time quarrel, there's always quarreling in the house, especially if the mother is very dominating, the child develops this center. And if the father is very dominating, the child develops the heart itself. So it is very important that Husband and wife should never quarrel in the presence of their child. Center heart can be developed in countries where there's all fear, people are frightened. It can be developed by other things by which people are frightened. Reading books of bad gurus and reading the books about shocking things, like many people who read the Kundalini's book have got center heart because they are so frightened about the Kundalini. Anything that frightens you if you read can make your heart very, very weak and dangerous. So the right side of every human being represents the fatherhood. The fatherhood. And the fatherhood of a man is very important. If this center is spoilt or if there's something wrong with it, then you get asthma as a disease. Asthma is only caused by this center being spoilt or some other combinations with this center. Asthma is very common among girls and boys, and the relationship with the father or the understanding of the father or your own fatherhood is not alright, you get this trouble of asthma, and for that one has to ask the questions to the sadhakas, what sort of a father you have. And one gentleman came and asked me, why everybody is asking me what sort of a father you have, everybody asked me, what about your father, what about your father, what has my father to do with me? Actually everybody feels the right heart and they have to ask about the father, because father resides in the right heart. And the principle of fatherhood, if it is spoiled, if there is a problem with the principle of fatherhood, then you get this problem and many other problems, which I do not want to discuss now at length. But you can understand a person who has no father, how diffident he is and how he behaves. And also such people, those who have not known a father, can become very wayward, licentious or permissive, or could be very much secretly licentious. The people who lose their father do not have that they lack in that discipline that the father gives. Or could be such people could take to a very remorse and unhappy life, or they could be very hard on their children, or could be extremely kind and spoil the children. It could be anyway. So it has both the reactions, either too much of love giving or too much of strictness. It can be anything, or a person could be of this kind, may be very strict in childhood and could be extremely lavish in old age. It is a very imbalanced personality. So the person who has no father has to know that his father is Sri Rama. He should not worry about anything. He is a one, with one arrow he can kill any number of people. So he should have no fear at all about his father not being there or father being dead or something happening like that. On the contrary, if the father is dead, it's better to tell him not to worry about you and that you are alright, so that you leave your father in peace and ask him to take his birth than to bind him to this earth. This is the right heart, and the left heart is the mother, actually your own mother, whosoever it is. That is the motherhood, in the sense that if your mother has been extremely unkind and extremely funny, or your relationship with mother is bad, then know that there is something wrong on the left hand, which is indicated in you. So these 2 points are very important in human beings. If a Sahaja just decides that I have a father and a mother, God Almighty is my father and my mother, then these problems can be easily solved. But in Sahaja, it is not what you think that works out. It does not. Like in the car, if you sit down and think that I am going to Connaught Place, you won't move. You have to move your hands. In the same way, in Sahaja Yoga, you have to move your hands, clear your chakras, move them higher and put them up. It's not what you think is important in Sahaja Yoga. Not at all. You may think that I am doing very well in Sahaja Yoga, I am very good, but it's not so. It is what you actually achieve. Your ascent is the point. So as in the car, as I told you, you cannot just sit down and think and do the job. In the same way, you have to run this machine and you have to see that you get all this movement. There should be gati in you. Otherwise, there is no sense in just talking about Sahaja Yoga, thinking about Sahaja Yoga and convincing yourself that you are against Sahaja Yoga. It is how you manifest it is the point, which very few people understand. Very, very few people understand that it has to be manifesting. It has to be karyanvit. It is not just talk morning till evening. Even when I am talking, now I am opening your heart center. I am working it. Even I am talking also, I am opening it. It's working. You will see your heart chakra is open by the time I finish my lecture. It is so, because I know how to do it. When I talk, I am just watching where the chakras are catching, what's happening, and I am catching all these points and touching it. I am trying to open it. And that's how it should be. That even when you talk, it should be karyanvit. Even when you are quiet and raising your hands, it should be karyanvit. Whatever you do, you should be karyanvit. Even if you glance at anyone, it should be karyanvit. It should not be just a kind of a jabbering that we do sometimes about Sahaja Yoga. The greatest fear human beings have, that they think they have done lots of mistakes. And these mistakes are too many and they can never get realization. They will be doomed, they will be going to hell. This is not true at all. Nobody is going to go hell if that you do not want to. If you want to stop it, you can stop it. The time has come. You are going to be blessed and blessed forever. So may God bless you. Today's lecture I have given you in a way that you should understand the importance of confidence, but not by saying I am confident, because when you say outwardly you are actually egoistical, but when you say in your vibrations, then you are confident. May God bless you.